Welcome to writing class. So today we're going to be doing a writing activity. I think it probably will be for most of the week. So our writing activity, before we start with it, I want you to think, have any of you ever been to a laundromat? Some of you might be going, yes. Some of you might be going, what is a laundromat? So what is a laundromat? It is a place where you can go and do your laundry. So here is a picture of a bank, a wall full of dryers. So if you live in an apartment building and you don't have your own washer or dryer, you can go to a laundromat, which is kind of like a store, which is full of washing machines and dryers. And you have to put coins into your washing machine, usually about $2, $3. You have to put them in for your wash. And then when your wash is done, you're going to move it into these dryers. And these dryers are really big. And there's banks of them, and you have to put money into them too to dry your clothes. So here, this is a picture of someone at the laundromat. And we're going to get a scenario that you are going to be writing about. So it's going to be doing with a laundromat. So I'm just going to keep this back down here. So the story we're going to be writing about is called Bored Sarah. So Sarah lives in the city, and she does not have an apartment or a place of, she lives in an apartment and she does not have her own washer and dryer. So every Sunday she goes to the laundromat. And every Sunday afternoon she washes loads of wash and then she puts them in the dryer. And usually she is able to get all her clothes into one of these big dryers. She's able to stick all her clothes in there, turn on the dial like this, and she can decide if she wants the heat to be on hot, on medium heat, cool, or no heat. And your dryer at home has the same kind of settings. Does your mom want it to be on super hot dry, medium dry, cool dry, or does she just want it to toss around and heat and air being blown on it but not any heat? So Sarah can't get all her clothes into one of the dryers. So she has too much laundry, so she opens another door so that she's going to use a second dryer. And when she looks at the dial to decide what she wants to put her clothes at, she notices that the dial does not say hot, medium, cold, and no heat. She sees that the dial instead says 1969, 1941, 1865, or 1776. So there are no heat settings, there are numbers. And she looks at those 4-digit numbers and she thinks, could these be years? She wonders. Why not find out if they are? So she sets the dial. She chooses one of these 4 numbers. She sets the dial and she climbs into the dryer and pulls the door closed. And that is where you are going to take over on your story. So you have to make a decision. What year are you going, Sarah, it's not you, it's Sarah. So what year is Sarah going to be going back to? 1969? I was 4 years old back in 1969. That was the year that Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. 1941. Oh, if we went back to 1941, that was during World War II. 1865. Wow, that's about the same time that Canada became a country. Canada became a country in 1867. So also at the same time that slavery was very big and rampant in the United States. 1776 is the year that the United States became a country. So Sarah is going to have to decide which of these dials does she want to turn back to, and you're going to have to make that decision for Sarah. So I'm just going to example take 1941. So Sarah is going to climb into the time capsule, into the dryer, and she is going to set the dial for 1941. So I probably would start my story by Sarah thought, what part of history do I want to see? I think 1941 would be cool to explore. She climbs into the dryer and sets the timer. No, it's not timer. That's the dial. That's what it is. To 1941 and closes the door. And next thing she knows, she is tossed all around the dryer, and then it suddenly stops. The door pops open, and Sarah carefully climbs out. And then I can decide, is she still in the laundromat or is she not in the laundromat? So there's some questions I can think about to ask myself. So is she in the laundromat? Is she still in the United States or Canada, wherever she started off from? Is she in Europe? So I have to decide, where is she? And I have to, then if I decide she's in Europe, would I say is she a German in Germany? So she could be a Nazi. Or is she in England, where she could be fighting against the Nazis? So you have all of those things to think about. Is she going to be a woman still? I would assume that Sarah's probably 20-something years old. Will she be, if she's in Germany, will she be a Nazi? Will she be living in their house? So there's so many things that you can think about, and how will you take this creative writing story? So we're going to go back and just review. So you are in a laundromat. Your name is Sarah, and you're going to write the story as if you were Sarah. So you are not yourself. I know for some of you that's hard, but you have to pretend you're Sarah. So Sarah needed to use an extra long dryer, but the dryer's knob was changed. The dial now said 4-digit numbers. So Sarah's going to have to pick one of those numbers, and she goes back in time, and what's going to happen to her? So before you start writing, and get too far, start thinking about what you're going to be doing with your story. And I am super excited. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen with your story. So you will be sent this picture and you will be sent a description. It's going to look like this, except it will be bigger, that you are going to be reading and think about, and then you can write your story on just a plain lined paper and send it to me when you are done. I am so excited. I can't wait to see what adventure Bored Sarah is going to go on. Happy writing!